Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining in the Riders United YouTube channel. This is the place where I release weekly videos related to the motorcycles. I also try to share some tips about the motorcycles, and I also record some of my rides during the season. And in today's episode I would like to talk a little bit more about the safety. And in this episode, I would like to show you the first aid kit that I was able to purchase from Harley Davidson for about only 20-25 bucks. And I think that this is really important item to have with you when you are riding. So stick around and I will show you what I got. Here we go. So obviously, safety is really important, not only when you are riding the motorcycle, but anytime when you are working or you are driving the car, and in any kind of situation, we have to always pay attention what is happening around us. And unfortunately, in some of the cases after we ride the bike for a long time, we'll notice that some unexpected things might happen to us. And in my case, I caught the bee, for example. One time I caught it in my helmet. The second time I was riding in shorts. I didn't know any better at the time. And the bee will actually fly inside of my shorts and sting me in my leg. That was really painful, and I have to say this was something that I definitely didn't enjoy, and that was the moment that I said to myself, I'm not gonna ride in the shorts ever again, because yeah, that was not fun. When the bee fly into my helmet, I have to say I get lucky just by the impact. She was instantly killed and really didn't sting me in my face or anything. But at the same time, about a year before, I have a small accident when I was pushed off the road from one of the car drivers, and I have to say I messed up my thumb and I have like some abrasion on my hand. I mean, thanks God I wasn't really riding that fast, but I have to say that was the moment that I will definitely use some of the first aid kit, and I didn't have it. And another day I was riding and I actually caught the debris in my eye, and that was really uncomfortable. So I try to stop as soon as I can, and after that I was like, okay, I have to like get this out from my eye. But I didn't have anything with me that will help me out to do it. And yes, I have to ride a few more miles before I found another gas station. And I went to the restroom, and I was able to flush my eye and kind of like get the piece of debris from my eye. And after that, I was able to get home. So I think that spending 30 bucks, 25, 30 bucks to have the first aid kit is definitely the good insurance for anybody that is traveling on those bikes for many miles. And even on the local roads, we never know what's gonna happen, when it might happen, and what might happen. So I have to say, I think that this is money that we can spend really wisely. And let me show you what is inside of the kit, just so you have a pretty good idea. And I have to say, Harley Davidson did a great job. They just upgraded this first aid kit. I was actually looking for one, and that was the moment that they kind of switched it. Before it was a little bit more bulky, and I didn't really like the look of it. But I mean, obviously this is not the reason you are buying something like that. But then they introduced this, and it was really nice and compact. It have all those important items that might help you to kind of survive sometimes maybe. And so let me just show you what is inside of this. And after that, you will be able to probably make a good decision to purchase something like that for you. Just throw it in the saddlebag and just forget it. Hopefully you never have to use it, but in case something happens, at least you will be safe. So let me show you what this first aid kit contains. And I have to say Harley did a really nice job, because they were able to put it in such a compact format. So let me just show you what we got in here. The first thing you will notice, you will have this first aid kit content. So it will actually list everything for you in case some of the items will have to be replaced over time because they might have like an expiration date. They actually list everything in here, and they are saying please take a moment to make sure that you are familiar with your kit, just so you understand what you have in here and in which cases you might get some help from this kit when you need it. So let me just show you what we got. I really like the fact that they include the emergency card. I have to say this is really helpful to have some kind of contact information in here in case the paramedics couldn't get to our phone and get some of the details. This is definitely a really nice place to have something in here. And yes, you will notice in here there is all these hand sanitizers. So there is quite a few of those. You have a triple antibiotic ointment, so first aid and burn cream. So I think that Harley did a really nice job with preparing this kit, and they really consider what kind of injuries we might encounter when we are riding the bike. So there was like a few other ones that are really helpful. So I really like the fact that yes, we have this first aid and CPR guide, so you can get a little bit more familiar in case of emergency. And you can see like they mentioning all these things that can happen to us in case somebody is unresponsive, CPR, choking, bleeding. So I think that this is really nice, and it will be helpful for anybody that will have to use this kit. So poisoning, eye injury, and heat injuries, especially like a heat stroke and heat exhaustion, really common, especially in really hot states. So yeah, I think this was a really great idea to include something like that. So let me just put it on the side. And in here, you can see we have gloves, and we have this scissors, really helpful, tiny, but also might help us out. Survival wrap, so this is heat reflective. As you can see, super compact form, so you can just have something to cover somebody in case is needed. Sting relief pads, I have to say, yes, this is really helpful, especially riding the bike. Many times we'll encounter this sting from insects or bees, so that was a really good idea to include in here. Cleaning toilets, adhesive bandage, there is like quite a few of those, so really helpful. This is the one that I think is really important, and this is actually the eye wash. So I definitely would use this one in the past. Sometimes you really have to like drive quite a bit in order to kind of get to the source of water. So this one is really helpful. You have a little band-aid in here, and in here you have the tweezers and magnifying glass, just in case you'd like to take a closer look at your injury. Another band-aid, and yes, adhesive items, tape, and sterilized gauze pads. So really helpful items, and I have to say, all of this for about 25-30 bucks. I think that this is definitely no-brainer to have something like that with you in really compact form. As you can see, this is my hand size, so it's kind of this big. It's really tiny, and I will highly recommend it to anybody that is traveling on the bike. So I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and as always, I would like to let you know that you can find me on the different social platforms. I also have the Facebook group called the Riders United Motorcycle Group. This is the place that you can connect with me directly, and I will be always really happy to answer any of your questions that you might have, or I will definitely take some of the suggestions from the subscriber to the channel or somebody that watched my video. So please like and subscribe. I also will really appreciate if you follow me on Facebook, and I have the account on the Twitter and also Instagram and TikTok. So those are the places that you can really connect with me. And as always, please stay safe and just help each other out in case you see another biker that needs some help, especially with this helpful item. If you feel that maybe there was like accident, that you passed somebody, please make sure that you help them out, because you never know, maybe one day you will need help and somebody will stop for you. So thank you guys for being here with me, and please stick around, and I will have another episode coming next week. Thank you so much. Bye bye.